could our erstwhile hero have done? He made the slide deck the centerpiece of the presentation instead of making his messages the key. We should all carefully cull our ideas and distill the most powerful and important. We should present only one idea per slide, restrict the color palette to 2 colors for contrast, and try to keep it Zen-like simple. If our audience cannot grasp the key point of any slide in 2 seconds, then it needs more paring back. Konnichiwa, and welcome to the Leadership Japan series, and I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, and much more importantly, you are a student of leadership highly motivated to be the best in your business field. Today's show is brought to you by our public and in-house seminar series. We run 2 public seminars each month, half days, full days, on popular topics like negotiations, public speaking, very relevant to today's show, time management, etc. If you are seeking these types of skill solutions, you can host them in-house or just send people along to our public events. If you have a performance or people challenge in Japan, then maybe we can help you. Contact me at greg.story, greg.story, S-T-O-R-Y, at dalecarnegie.com. Access our free white papers, guidebooks, reports, training videos, blogs, newsletters, course information, plus much, much more at japan.dalecarnegie.com. Before we get going, today's handy phrase is itte kimasu. Itte kimasu. I'm going out now. Itte kimasu. I'm going out now. Itte kimasu. I'm going out now. This is episode number 158, and today's topic is good messages delivered badly. Seriously sad, really. Our speaker had some excellent points to convey, but due to some silly, basic errors, killed his organization's messages. I believe there is no excuse for this anymore. Today there is so much information available, so many role models, so much video instruction, so much access to insight, so much training. You really have to wonder how some organizations can do such a poor job. The impressive thing was our speaker was delivering the talk in English when this was not his native language. Actually, the level of English fluency was impressive. The speed was good, the pronunciation was fine, the speaking voice was clear. He came with a grand resume, part of the elite of the land, a well-educated senior guy. This was game, set, and match to be a triumph of positive messaging and salesmanship. It was a fizzer. I approached him after it was all over. Being the eternal Aussie optimist from the land of vast horizons, blue skies, and wonderful sunshine, I thought our speaker would benefit from a bit of friendly, positive feedback on how he could help his organization to do better. He wasn't buying that and asked me for one example. Clearly, he believed his talk went down a treat with the crowd. A group, by the way, full of long-term Japanophiles and boosters for things Japanese. He was in fact preaching to the choir in audience terms, but his messaging went astray. I asked for the first slide to be brought back up. A confusing coat of many, many colors, seriously dense with data, totally impervious to easy understanding, a florid mess, in other words. They were all like this. Data was simply killing the key messages. When I suggested the slides were perhaps attempting to put too much on the screen at the one time, he said I was looking at the cleaned up version. He had taken the organization's standard slide deck and pared it back. Pared it back, I thought incredulously. Well, it was still ridiculous. The other issue was the delivery. Our speaker chose to stand in front of the monitor and read to us what was on the screen while having his back to us for most of the presentation. Fortunately, he was handsome, urbane, charming, international, and articulate. He had all the natural advantages that carry the room to his way of thinking. Unfortunately, he failed completely. What could our erstwhile hero have done? He made the slide deck the centerpiece of the presentation instead of making his messages the key. We should all carefully cull our ideas and distill the most powerful and important. We should present only one idea per slide, restrict the color palette to 2 colors for contrast, and try to keep it Zen-like simple. If our audience cannot grasp the key point of any slide in 2 seconds, then it needs paring back. Graphs are great visual prompts, and the temptation is to use them as unassailable evidence. This usually means trying to pack the graph with as much information as possible, showing long periods of comparison and multiple data points for edification. Instead, think of them like screen wallpaper. They form a visual background. We can then go to another slide showing a turning point in isolation, or we can have a pop-up with a key number emphasized in very large font. In this way, we can cut through all the clutter and draw out the critical proof we want our audience to buy. Trying to pack it all on one slide is a formula for persuasion suicide. We need to learn some very basic logistics about presenting. Despite how the organizers have set up the space, move things around if possible to give yourself the best shot to present as a professional. Try to stand on the audience left of the screen. We read from left to right, so we want them to look at our face first and then read the screen. We want to face our audience, and if anyone drops the lights so your screen is easier to see, stop everything and ask for the lights to be brought back up. We need the lights on in order that we can see our audience's faces. We can then gauge if they are with us or resisting our messages. They can see us, and we can use our gestures, facial expression, body language to back up the words we are saying. Changing the slides and changing the delivery would have made the speaker's messages clearer and more attractive. None of the things I've suggested to him are complex or difficult. Why then are we still assailed with unprofessional presentations from smart people? He remained resistant, so I saw him riding off into the sunset on his quixotic quest to convert others to his organization's point of view. Good luck with that one, buddy. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series, and we hope you enjoyed today's show, brought to you by the Seminar Series, as mentioned. If you have a performance or people challenge in Japan, then maybe we can help you. Contact me at greg.story, greg.story, S-T-O-R-Y, at dalecarnegie.com. Also remember to access your Dale Carnegie training, free reports, white papers, guidebooks, training videos, blogs, newsletters, course information. Man, there's a truckload of stuff over there. Go to japan.dalecarnegie.com.